Okay, let's see if this is working. Don't seem like we're up quite yet. But I'm not quite sure. Oh, no, it seems like it's working, yeah. Just looking for the stream on YouTube to be up, and it seems to be. Wonderful. Just gonna fix a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to make sure that we don't need to see this. So we can hide OBS. There we go. Okay. I think we're ready and live. So I just thought I'd try out some live streaming. I haven't done that on CC Pipe. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I thought we could just I could just be tinkering around in InDesign a little bit and maybe show how I would like set up a document or something like that. And if people show up, then feel free to ask questions, of course, in chat. I'll try and keep an eye on chat. We'll see how it goes. But this is mostly for testing it out, honestly. So yeah, let's see. We have InDesign here, and now I should be able to switch from that one over there. There we go. So yeah. What I thought I would do, like I said, is that I'm going to show how I would set up a sort of larger document setup. Let's say we're going to make a magazine or something. And first of all, we're going to create a new document, and I'm using the old new document layout, which you can enable if you want to, just because I don't know why. I just like it better. And I think there was something that I didn't like about the new one. I have forgotten already what it was. But so we're just going to set up our document, and it's going to be a 210 by 280 millimeters. I am European, so we're using millimeters over here. And obviously, like, you might end up changing these things later on, but for a magazine, maybe I would not have the same margins all around. So maybe we do like 15 as a basic one, but if this is something we'll print, maybe we want a little bit of a larger inside margin. And if we want a footer, we might also want that one to be a little bit larger as well. So maybe we do something like this. And once again, if we're talking print, we'd like some bleed as well. And we want facing pages, since it's a 2-page magazine kind of deal. So, and this is probably as far as I would go here. And now we have our document. And I don't know what we'll do next. Let's see, we can set up some pages. And maybe we have something like this. By the way, I'm just going to check on the stream if everything is working properly. Seems like it is. Yeah, you can just see my own stream now, I think. There we go. Okay. So what would we like to do next? Maybe save it would be a nice thing. I'm just going to save this as, I don't know, stream test. I'm also going to hear my keyboard a lot when I'm recording at the same time. Mechanical keyboard problems. Okay, so that is that. What would we like to do next? Maybe set up our master pages, or parent pages as they now like to call them. So I'm just going to call this the base one. And for the base, I usually don't set up a lot of things, but I usually put some guides in there. And therefore, we're going to do some layers as well. And I usually have either a primary design layer where I put text and images, or I split it up and I have one for text and one for images. Just because it might be nice sometimes to just, if you're just working on text, maybe you lock the image layer and you won't be able to move that around by mistake. But I usually also make a master layer, and you can also change the color of these if you like, by the way. Maybe make it tan or something. And okay, yes, guides. That's what I wanted to do. So obviously this, I'm just improvising here. So we could do really anything. Maybe we want to set up some, you can either also set up columns if you want columns in the margins, or you can just set everything up with guides. I think I'm just going to do everything with guides actually. But for something like this, maybe we like you can either do like a column grid or a full grid with rows as well. So let's do a full grid. Maybe we do 6, and columns, we might make 4 columns. And just how much gutter you want. Maybe 5 would be fine. Don't really have any purpose for this, so it's going to be a bit not very, I don't even know what to call it. Just arbitrary, I guess. But maybe this would be an okay grid. Maybe we want some gutter on the rows as well. So just set this up. Maybe we want 4x4, maybe 6. Something like this. So now we have the guides, and I had the master layer selected, so you can also toggle that. And I usually like to just put all the master items in the same layer. So this is probably it for the first set of master pages here. So then we can start creating some new ones, and let's call this one Pagination perhaps. So now we can add some page numbers and stuff, and we want to base it on the base so that we get the guides for all of the upcoming ones, and we don't want to change really anything else. So we do that. And now let's perhaps add some page numbers. And we can do this in the master layer as well. So to insert a page number, we just go to text and special characters, and let's see, markers, is it? Yes, current page number, there we go. And we'll get to paragraph styles, I guess. So, and there's like 2 ways of doing it. Either you can, well, probably more ways of doing it, but either you just set up the paragraph styles ahead of time, or you just like kind of fix everything as you like it and then make them into paragraph styles. So let's for now maybe work with some overrides. We can use the CC pipe font, and page numbers don't need to be very big. I already regret making the footer this large. So maybe let's just change that, make it same. So we'll just select both master pages in base, and we can just go and change the bottom to 15 as well, so we have the same. Annoyingly, then we have to redo the guides as well. It's not an exact science, definitely not. So what did I do? I think I did 6 and 5 and 4 and 5, and you want to remove the old ones. So there we go, now it's updated. Okay, now we can go back here, and let's see, how do we want to do this? Maybe we put this centered. That's Control B, by the way, to get to that dialog. And if you want, you could also perhaps, so this is the page number we have here. You can zoom in a bit. Maybe we could write something in here. Stream document, and we could do like CC pipe. So, oh, that's one too many. And we can do that. Maybe make it a bit smaller. And let's get some colors in here as well, so that we have those. That's my library, by the way. So maybe we do something like that. I don't think this probably will do a bit closer to the edge. Something like this. And then what I like to do is to use the these alignments, so towards spine or away from spine, and this is going to be away from spine. So if we now duplicate this and move it to the other page, it's going to change the alignment so that it is away from the spine. Something like that. Place that in the same place. Go. Let me just check in on the stream as well. What's going on? Not much really. So, okay, so we have pagination. Do we want to put anything else in here? Maybe we would like to add some... We could add like a running header on top as well. And a lot of these things, like for example, the running headers, I have tutorials on. If anyone's interested in that, that would be the variables tutorial. But maybe sometimes you wouldn't want that in the same one. So maybe we'll leave it as it is. So let's make a new master page and call this maybe article or something. So then we could base it on pagination. So now all these carry over as well. And let's perhaps add let's add a running header. But that's probably, I'm just thinking whether we want to do that already because we don't have anything to base it on yet. We can just add a placeholder for it for now. We'll see how long I want to go on with this. Not really doing anything today, so we'll call this, maybe we'll just write in chapter 1 or something like that. Bell, bold, Nobel is maybe I mentioned that already, but that is the font that I use for CC Pipe. And where do we want to put this? Do we want to put it over here, further up, maybe? Slightly outside the margins, that's a bit too large. Maybe like that. I think we want it to be kind of aligned with the rest, with the pagination, so we'll just do that. And once again, we can align it away from spine. Something like that. And that you would then make a running header with variables later on. So now we have a master page, and this is probably like, I'm imagining going to be like the primary one that we'll be using. And I have no idea, by the way, how this is going to work out. Maybe this will end up looking like shit because I don't really have a purpose with this. I'm just making it up as we go. So now we have master pages. We probably want to make some more master pages, maybe for specific scenarios. Maybe you want chapter pages, or maybe you want to, whatever it might be, depending on what content you're going to end up putting in there. But I think this is probably a good base to have, and we could apply this as well to the pages that we have. So what would be next? This is the well, actually, so that's an interesting thing as well. So if you're doing a print production, you may know that you might end up having to have the cover in a separate file because the cover is printed on a different paper, and this would then be page 3. So I thought we could put this in a book document as well. Maybe we do that now. So let's set this to start page 3, just to have done that already. And then we need a book. So we go File and New, then we go Book. And it's going to ask me to save it somewhere. Hopefully I'm not showing anything I don't want to show here. I'm not very used to doing this stuff live. Very sorry if something offends you that I happen to show. It shouldn't be anything. So now we have a book. Okay. And then we're probably going to go over to Bridge. So we're going to go over to Bridge, and here we have the book. And where the hell did I put my InDesign document? I think I put it somewhere where it shouldn't be. Let's see, where did it go? This went, oh, it went to the wrong place. Just gonna move it back to where it's supposed to be. And of course I can't move it. Never mind, it's open. This is the kind of things that you wouldn't get in a video. But now we know where it is at least. So we're just going to find it. Where did I put it? I put it here. Get that into the right place. Just made a folder for this earlier. So call this maybe stream test 1. And then we'll make some copies of this. And I don't want to open it. Thank you, Bridge. Click too quickly. So I'll probably be happy with just 2 pages, 2 documents, I mean. So then we can just get these into our book document that we have up here in the corner. So we can just drag them in. There we go. And this one, as we set up, started with 3. So the next thing I want to do is to change this. And it's going to be document numbering options. It's going to open it, and I want to say automatic page numbering. There we go. And you can see it already changed our pages a bit here, so that now we have the last page like this instead. And one thing you can do as well, if you don't want to slow you down by updating as soon as you change something, you can also change so that it doesn't automatically update the numbers. And is that over here? Yeah, book numbering, page numbering options. You can turn off automatically update page numbers, and then you can do it manually over here. So that was that. And then obviously for a big publication, you probably want to split it up into bigger documents, mostly just for the purpose of it not being too slow if you have a lot of pages. At work, I usually have around, well, it could be 100 to 200 pages. So it's a bit too much for one InDesign document to handle when you're working off a server. So that's just how I usually work. And let's see, what do we want to do next? Something that would be interesting. I guess paragraph styles would be something to look into next. I'm just going to go fetch some water to drink, so I'll be right back, and I'm just going to give you this. Okay, we're back. So let's continue where we left off then. So paragraph styles, that's what I wanted to do. So I guess we just get going. And you can either use the basic paragraph as a base. I think just based on how I've been taught, I like to make a base myself. So this is what I'll be basing all my paragraph styles on. And basically what I want in there is probably the font that I'm going to be using, and not much more. So this will just, it will be the basic paragraph, but a separate one. But you can definitely use the basic paragraph as well. So just going to say OK. And since we don't have any like specifics here, I guess we can just make some sort of the usuals. So I usually like a body, and you want a maybe a byliner, maybe some lists if you like that, and some headings, and obviously as well for make some paragraph styles for the chapter numbers and headers as well. And I also see that we want to change something here. I just got the wrong master there. That really doesn't matter much, but something like that. So we can continue in the first document that we made. And also, by the way, since we changed the numbers, you can also see that we have the correct numbering here. Oh yeah, but I did make the base in this one. Never mind. We can do it here as well, it doesn't matter. So let's make a new paragraph style, and let's call this body. And we're going to base it on base. And maybe we want it to be 8 points. And maybe we do left justified. And we're probably going to add some text here just to see what we're doing. So press OK on that one, and let's just add a text box. And I can already see that these margins are kind of stupid. Don't use this as a guide for like the numbers that you should be using, because it's not going to look good. So we can type in heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. Then we can fill with some placeholder text, and maybe we'll cut this off. It's a bit unnecessarily much. Just so we have something to go by, we can apply body, pretty small, but if it's a text document, like a printed document, it's probably perfectly fine. If it's something with a lot of text, and let's make the headings then, I guess. So, new paragraph style, and we're going to base this off base, call it H1, and this is probably going to be bold, get 60. Oh, we can actually do this as well, apply to selection, so that we can see it live. We can change the color, make it a bit larger. This is the main heading, that's perhaps a bit too much. Something like this, and add some spacing after it. And this is always like a thing. Do you want to add space after, before? Probably end up in reality going back and fixing these things. And if I'm working on a publication, I probably have a template that I've set up and perfected after doing it multiple times. But now we have the main heading. So next we can make the next one, and also I guess you can decide whether you want to base it on the main heading or just the base. I think I'm just going to do the base. It can be nice to have everything like based on base, but sometimes you change something and then it follows along that, and you don't want it to. So maybe that's, sometimes I feel like this is better. So this will be slightly smaller, maybe 30, 24 maybe. And we can do it light even. Add some space after it. Go. Got to name it. Rule number 1, always name it. If I get a document with things that aren't named, I will be sad. No question about that. I'm very much the kind of person who wants everything to be very neat in my documents. Perhaps not too surprising, since this is what I do. on YouTube. But you don't have to. It's preference, but I do think there's an advantage of having things neat and tidy in your document. Also, I'm making these headings left justify. Let's not do that. I can just change that quickly. Okay, that one wasn't. That means I based it on the wrong thing, I think. Yes, it's going to be based on base. There we go. Okay, so now we have the headings. I like to use folders. Once again, keeps it neat. So we can call this headings maybe. And then we can move them into this folder. There we go. Logically set up like that. And then maybe like make one more. So we can make a byliner as well. And that will be maybe 10, regular, and some spacing there as well. Maybe like that. Could be something. So now we have paragraph styles. And yeah, we could probably make it for this as well. For the page numbers and these chapter things. But I'm going to be lazy this time. It's not going to be a final product. It's just playing around here. And what do we want to do next? Maybe, oh yeah, we should probably get the paragraph styles into both documents. And we only have 2 documents, so what you can do is just to do load paragraph styles, and then you load it from the document that you made them in. But you can also sync them in the book. And if you had many documents, that's probably what you want to do. So we can try that. So we are in number 2 right now. And then we can make sure we have this selected. Just move it to the document that you want to sync from. And then we can go to synchronize options. And what do we want to sync? Well, we can basically sync everything. Sync parent pages as well. Just going to have everything selected, honestly. And then we can do synchronize book. And we should see the paragraph styles have popped in here as well, which they have. Very handy. And it's very much, I recommend doing this in the beginning, because if you start syncing things when you have tons of stuff in your documents, it might mess things up sometimes. And you then have to go through and check that nothing got ruined by the synchronization. But you can also just sync, if you made a change to a paragraph style, you can just sync just paragraph styles and not risking anything there. Oh, sorry about that. Apparently I'm tired. I'm talking too much. I'm not breathing enough, I think. So now we have that set up. What else would I be doing? Obviously, it followed along as well the colors, and I don't know if layers. I don't think it syncs layers. You could check that in the list if you're interested. Obviously, I forgot about character styles. Character styles that I would probably make would probably, like, there's always some character styles that you want to have if you use them, which I recommend. I don't have a video about character styles yet. If people are interested, I certainly consider making one of those as well. Kind of like the paragraph style video I made where I just go through all these options. But it's not that much to character styles. It's pretty straightforward. But usually, like, I want some for, always need a bold. And this obviously works. Like, you just change the thing that you want to change, and because you can see, like, this is empty. So this bold will not change the font family if you haven't chosen anything here. So we just have a bold one. So if you want to bold something in the text, you can just select it and do that. Or much more handy, you can use the quick apply with Control Enter. You can type in bold and do it that way. And I usually also want maybe something for white text if you have it on a colored background. So you could just do this and you could call it white or negative. So obviously we could sync these as well in the book document. Anything else that we would like to do? Just trying to think if there's anything fun that we could get up to here. So we could obviously make object styles. Maybe for images, that could be something that could be neat to have. If you have a big document, it could save you some time. If you make a object style for just like a full-size image and set that up, or you could make an object style for text boxes. If you maybe want inset or you want a certain amount of columns, you could do that. Could also be helpful. But let's try and make something like that. Make an object style. If we want an image that is like all the way through to the bleed here on a right side, and you would obviously have to make one for right and one for left. A bit annoying, but let's try that. We can just make a colored box for now, and let's just also put base on this so that we don't have anything in the way. And it's probably easiest to just set the scaling like beforehand. Also, I noticed that I'm working in the master layer, which I shouldn't be. So there we go. Let's make the object style. What will this be called? This will be called image right. And I really don't like the fact that all of these are activated by default in object styles. I feel like it should be the other way around and you activate the ones you want. So I usually turn all of them off. There we go. So to do this, we want size and position. And since we already scaled it, we can do height and width, and we can do X and Y. And I haven't set this up in a while, so let's see if I forgot anything, but apply this, and oh yeah, it's a bit finicky when you have bleed, because you can see it moved it down, because it doesn't really manage that, so we're going to have to work around that. So let's go into size and position here, and we're going to set the reference point to Y instead. Set the reference point to the middle. And then we change Y. We had 280, so we do 140. And now we fix that. Because you can't write in a negative number here. And that's why you can't do it from the top left one. So then we have that one. So just as an example, if you make a box here, you do that. And you see it scales it up accordingly. So that's the object style and all this. Obviously, you can sync that as well, or load it in, I think, as well with object styles. Yeah, you can load object styles as well. That's something. And what else could we get up to? I don't know how long I've been going. I haven't paid attention to it. Can't see it in OBS. Maybe we can see it in YouTube. We've been going for half an hour, actually. Maybe we call it there. I don't know if there's anything else. I can't think of anything right now. Like, we could continue forever doing this and do it very detailed. But this is just kind of how I would work setting up a document and sort of get started. And you'd end up having to make changes along the way. Like, for example, I already know that these margins and where I place the header and the footer here is probably not quite what I want. But it's the starting point. And then when you start placing content, you can usually see what you need to change. It's not an exact science, design. And that's actually kind of an interesting thing as well. I feel like the more experience I've gotten, the less I rely on doing everything like by the book, and you just kind of get a feel for what you need to do and just look at it. But yeah, maybe that will do it for a first live stream. We'll see if I keep this VOD up or no. I'm gonna perhaps look through it and see if it's worth keeping. But I haven't seen anything in chat, but that's pretty expected. It's not really my viewers are usually not online watching much during the weekends. It's more during the work days. But this was just a test, honestly, just to try this out, and I'm definitely down to do some more live streams. It's kind of more chill. You can just try and show things that would be a bit boring to watch, like watching a video. I try and make the videos quite concise and to the point and not mess around with unnecessary things for too long. So, yeah, I think we're going to call it. And if you're watching the VOD, if it's up afterwards, feel free to leave a comment what you think about live streams and if you want to see more of those in the future. And I probably should as well announce it ahead of time. I don't know if people really see those. A lot of my viewers are not subscribed viewers, so I don't expect much from the live streams, but it's a fun thing to do and try out. Anyway, so wherever you are, if you're watching, thank you so much for doing so, and I'll see you in next video, live stream, short, whatever it might be. Thank you very much.